Miksi mä muistan bändin nimeä? Mä muistan vaikka mitään muuta, mutta bändin nimeä.
Good. Hello. Let's continue Pillars Early Bird Edition today, an hour early. And we'll try to complete the game. We don't have that much to go anymore, so it should be doable. So we'll just jump right in. Hey, Knight. Yeah, that's the delay. Takes like 30 seconds or something before it actually goes live. I was wondering yesterday when we did asking the favor from gods thing, that if you could ask favor from all of them, and no one seemed to know on the chat.
All right.
I read about it on myself. Myself, and apparently you can get favor from all the gods. And there's a quest for all of them. So I'm gonna go and get back to the whatever place tier everyone, and get the quest for all of them, so we can complete all 4 favors for the gods. So that's what we are gonna do first. So in the Elm Ridge to do that. Then we have the old song where I am currently. So there's Galen's Maw. We are in the Noonfrost. We need to do some more in there. And otherwise we've done this area. And then we have the Burial Isle, which leads to the last place in the game. Then we have the Northfield and Temple of Hylia as well. So I'm gonna go check the questline thing from here, do the old song temples, then we head Northfield, Temple of Hylia, and then look at some of the side quests I have still unfinished, especially for all the party members, and then we need to go kill the dragons. There's 2 dragons I know that we need to kill, and then we are probably finishing the game. So that's the goal for today. And I started early because, well, I got everything done early and I was ready to go, and to get some extra time also to finish the game. So we'll probably stream as long as this game lasts today. We should have at least good 10-11 hours easily to go. And if we don't finish it today, then we'll do it first thing tomorrow. Looking at the quests here, we have few side quests we need to do. This is easy, because it's just to kill the dragon. And there are some of these Persox. Sagonis quest is in the north. Most of those quests actually are in the Northfield, where we need to go. And in the Temple of Hylia. Well, there's not too many locations left on the map, so it's not surprising that everything we have left is pretty much in those couple locations. So I've done now thing about the party members' quest lines. I've done Eder's, Alot's, and Polygina's quest lines. So we have 5 more to go. Enemy spotted Shade? What? Interesting. Let me think. Rymgard was the... Actually, let's check the Berath. Pray to Berath. I need to answer the right one here. There is life in death and death in life. I think that's the one. For Berath. There is a rippling shift in the air around you, as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing the unexpected warmth. You feel a peculiar weight of unseen presence and of eyes upon you. You kneel and pray to Berath, even while your eyes are closed. You see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon. To your left, only to rise on your right. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, and another as sheer canyon walls. For just an instant you even see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into the shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end back on the road. You know this vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet, and the night air cool on your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward on their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Two faces of Sirono, what we call Berath. She shudders slightly, her feathers ruffling as she peers at the figures with apprehension. You remember the door to Cleobandrilag and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male and the other looks vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of the two stone sculptures are swept toward the mouth, inviting you in. Enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the moor to another shifting landscape, surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed facing you. An elven woman waits on the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. Approach the dwarven man. You continue down the road toward him. He looks as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh has detached from the muscles underneath. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corner of his lips. His jaws sag, and the loose flesh hangs like a dough. He raises his cupped hands. They are covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself, from his newly creased forehead to the bottles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear. The hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time you know he's looking at you. His senior face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are hungry cupids, yawning like the empty mouths of Skull. Come, make your sacrifice to Ethicnol. His body blocks the path. He extends a bloody hand toward you. Attack him? Let's take his hand. You grab his hand, but his skin gives too easily under your grip. As you try to pull away, you hear a noise like dried canvas tearing you. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forward in such quantities that you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, the dwarf empties of blood. He collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams with thousands souls worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shiny filaments into the night sky. Only now that he is dead, you can continue onward. The blood pools around your feet, and you look up, and you see the Elven Moon waiting further down the road. Approach the Elven Moon. You start toward her. There's something unnatural about the way she stands. She's too still. When you get closer, you see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled twisting roots. She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the color of autumn leaves, and as you look more closely, you realize that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines sprouting brilliant yellow leaves, each glimmer with essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path beneath her, and almost immediately new leaves sprout in the place of the old. She reaches toward you, still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, craft your soul to the golden grow. Take her hand. Her roots twine around your fingers, and as they do, they grow rigid and gold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as a rough stone bark overtakes their flesh, she can only look on in horror. You break away from her brittle grasp. Her feet are rooted into place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck, and she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The grayness covers her face, freezing her a gasp in stone. Now that she is still and lifeless, you can continue past her. Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. They shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. A voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You lift your gaze and see the skull gate ahead of you open on the path. The candles of Tyr Evron wink through the open mouth. So I need to kill both the druid lady and the dwarf guy who was extending his life and empowering people with blood. Damn, these gods are bloodthirsty. Let's see, Hylia was god of... yeah, she's the sky goddess. Let's see, Hylia. Pray to Hylia. Leave every note of life's song. Your words seem to ring in the air, your voice rendered melodic and lilting by some unseen art. You shut your eyes to pray. As you wait in darkness, the world around you changes. You feel sunlight, bright and warm, on your face. A light breeze carries music to your ears. As vivid as these sensations feel, you somehow know they are not real. You look around and find yourself standing in an open-air temple built on a mountain summit. It fills with elves, orlans, and assorted other kith. Ringing the entire scene is a fringe of trees, their verdant branches filled with trees of all different colors, shapes, and sizes. Duran Spitz, a paradise for those who would waste their lives exploring the meaningless while corrupting the meaning of the real world. Oh, to set these trees ablaze, Watcher. Euron is singularly absorbed in a particular pursuit. An Orlan sits with a canvas, a paintbrush in his hand, and a jar of green, blue, and yellow pigments at his feet. An elf and an Amawa standing to the side are locked in conversation, their expressions dancing with delight. Still others scribble stanzas of poetry or crude sketches on sheafs of paper, losing themselves in the delicate minute of lines and syllables. You feel the breeze again, and the two elves basking in the sunlight shiver. The largest group gathers in the middle of the temple. They sing a lush, chaotic harmony composed of several complementary melodies. Others drift toward the singers in ones and twos, as if buffeted by a gust of wind or phrase of the song. A ripple passes through the trees. You think it's the wind, but the chirping changes to screeching. Hundreds of birds take to skies, all headed in one direction, away. Hiravias emits a series of chirping bird calls as the flock scrambles into the air. This is bad, Hiravia mutters, his face turning sour. Something has them spooked, but they won't tell me what. Then again, I think I mispronounced my bird song and probably called them incontinent. The devotees glance the trees, just barely distracted from their activities, but the wind picks up, scattering their pages of poetry and art and ripping the songs from their lips. They look skyward, and they follow their gaze. A dark shape blots out the sun. You can't tell what it is, but as it unfolds and expands, it seems to fill the sky. The wind roars over the summit. That explains the birds. Before you can flee, a shadow falls over the temple. It begins as a stain in the corner and spreads, blotting out the flagstones. It reaches the nearest kith, Blackford Orlan, The darkness swallows her, leaving only a puff of smoke in her place. Two elves that you saw earlier, a man and a woman, flee. You get a brief image of them huddled in the shadow of a mountain. They seem to see you, too, and they reach out, calling silently after you. The others, however, seem frozen. As the shadow advances, they likewise vanish one by one. The driving gale scatters their ashes and the charred remains of their creations. You look up again at the source of the shadow, but the eclipsed sun forms a blinding corona around the thing. You can't make out any details. You can, however, feel heat. Restore my temple. You look down and find yourself standing next to a Hylia shrine in Tier Evron. Your pulse still raises and your skin is damp with sweat from your strange encounter. So that's the dragon we need to kill. So we got these. We need the Hrymgard. Hrymgard was the god of cold and misery and famine and natural disasters. Yeah. Pray to Hrymgard. Which one is the right one? Out of these, I think struggle is our fundamental nature, might be the one. Let's try that. Your words seem to fade once voiced, as if they were cast into vast emptiness. The whole grows deadly still and silent, and then the ground starts to tremble beneath your feet. Whoa. I think we had a wrong answer there.
Well, so much for you.
Hey. You're not getting through me.
So much for you.
Interesting. This must be a location to farm experience. Yeah. Let's try it again. You kneel and close your eyes. As you pray, the blackness fades to white, and the howling wind fills your ears. The vision that slowly resolves itself is a broad, frozen plain. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. They trudge over the snowbanks, their heads down against the driving winds. As they trek past you, one man bundled in fur turns his head. You headed for a noon frost and the frost-hewn breach too? Before you can answer, he slumbered ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a couple minutes you come to a wall of ice. It disappears into a pale emptiness overhead and stretches as far as you can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mirror-smooth section that's framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side, but debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull pickaxes and shovels from their sealskin packs and begging hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in a swift, shining arcs. Though they throw their bodies into their labor, not one of them so much as scratches the polished ice. Yet with each blow, something bellows in the distance. Eder calls out to the elves, "Hey, you might wanna hold off on that," but that howling wind seems to swallow up his voice. Polychina's head whips around to see where the bellowing is coming from. Forget about the elves. We need to be ready to move. She turns again to face you, flexing her hands in the cold air. Or fight. The elves hack away, seemingly oblivious to the furious lowing and to the tremors under your feet. The snow has risen to your knees, your legs frozen in the drifts. Try to get the elf's attention. You grab the nearest elf by her shoulder, shaking her and yelling over the howling winds. You point in the direction of the booming noise, but she only skulls. Leave us, traveler. We got to get through. We can't stay on this side any longer. But you haven't even chipped the ice. I know. That's why we got to keep working. She turns away from you to take another swing. Let's get it attention again. Intent on their work, the elves ignore you. Attack the elves. You strike the nearest elf and he crumbles into a mound of snow. You attack another and she falls just as easily. While you cut down the elves around you, their fellows continue cleaving the ice, working faster. Even their redoubled efforts seem futile. When the last of the elves fall, the bellowing finally ceases and the wind dies down. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in a chaotic flurry. You notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It's the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever's on the other side of the strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you. Only when you look back and see the pearl gases trailing behind your legs in the snow do you realize how strong its pull is.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Remergond.
Block the hole with a handful of snow. You fill your hand with snow and shove it into the crack. It hardens instantly, and a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, a perfect crystal of ice remains in your palm. As you examine the crystal, the vision around you fades, but the unmelting shard of ice remains in your hand. Glowing ice shard. Tiny beetle bed. Nice. Let's put that in there. Rimgard gave you this jagged ice crystal when you prayed to him at Kier Ebron. It's supposed to control the frost-hewn breach in Noonfrost. The shard glows with gold blue light. It hasn't melted at all since you received it. So that's all the godly things. All quests. We should go to an inn, rest there, and start whacking these quests down. Go to the Old Song, go to the Noonfrost.
Of course.
We also have this Servant of Death. End the 2 lives of the 2 figures in Berat's vision. So I need to kill Dwarf, who is renewing himself with the blood of Odaras in the Ethic Knoll. And I need to also whack the hippie elf from here.
Hail Estramor.
So we need to kill this Erona, who is probably now
Hail Estramor.
outside where she was supposed to be earlier when I was going there. But since we are already here in the Blood Sense, I might as well go in here and kick the dwarves in the head. Wonder what happens if we were to kill them before getting the quest. At least one of them will bug. Actually, that was this one. This can bug if you kill the monsters too early. Don't know about the others. It's the one that's buggy will be fixed in the next patch. So I would imagine there is an option of them working already if you kill them too early. You go to pray to the god, and the god is like, "Oh, you already did that? Oh, good, good. Here's my favor." When they made this game, they did a really good job thinking an option for every possible action you can do, which usually is, "Oh, you killed this guy already? Well, here's a alternative thing." I mean, you can even kill the original Caravan. You come into the game, and the game will adapt to that decision. Hello. Berath believes it's time you paid your dues. Rest in Kranz. Then he can descend from his mighty pantheon and tell me himself. Actually, that's why I am here.
Since when do the gods send mortals to collect? You're much too talkative to be the usher. This is the trouble with deities. They meddle in a world that they don't even inhabit. I hope they've promised you something better for your next life.
I certainly hope so.
Hey.
Lovely.
I bring the disco show with me. This is the most OP spell in the game, in my opinion. Especially the fact that I can spam the ability.
Tell me.
And this is why ciphers are getting nerfed in the next patch, by the way.
That's it!
Extraordinary. Minus reputation on the Ethic Null and Fangs. Golden Crow likes me now. Purgatory. Oh, that is a nice saber. Draining, annihilation, exceptional. In a monastery overlooking Coldflow Lake from the foothills of White Marsh, there once resided a clandestine order of monks known as Thousand Dreams. Through a powerful form of pain-inducing meditation, these monks were able to walk through their past lives as though they were dreams. Each traveled these memories in an ultimate hopes of achieving complete understanding of his or her soul's identity. They believed that after experiencing 1000 lifetimes, total enlightenment could be attained. Greatest of their sect was Rigolan, who had an ancient soul and was said to have walked more lifetimes than any other. But when she came to an end of all her lifetimes and found there was no more to experience, it became clear that she would never come to know herself completely, for there was simply not enough to learn from. Unable to accept this fate after her endless trials, Rigolan sought a way to take the experiences from others of her own, for her own, that she might reach 1000 lifetimes yet. She channeled her unquenchable hunger into her favorite sword, and it became an instrument of her will. With it she claimed many lives in the surrounding area. Each drop of blood on her blade was a new experience, each killing blow a new lifetime for her to claim. When the rest of the Thousand Dreams came to learn her actions, they banded together and confronted Rigolan upon her return to the temple. In the end, amid a courtyard of slain monks, she did indeed come to understand her soul, and it is said that among the many experiences contained in the blade are all those of Rigolan herself. The blade itself is a simple saber with a worn leather grip and an inset ebony hilt. The sword becomes hot to touch when its wilder foes are vanquished. Yeah, exactly. That was and she got a lot of level ups. End of story. Blood-blessed Skayan cultist robes. I said these guys are the exact same followers like that blood cult, and I was correct. Oh, they are chanters. Nice. Have boom booms to face.
Die!
Beyond seek!
All right then.
Varathus!
Kind of feels like I am the most worst thing on this world. I'm just going around killing and disrupting order everywhere.
Huh? You're not getting through me.
Pretty much every game ever.
Beyond seek.
Yeah, that's kind of true, right?
Beyond seek.
The main guy or the party is always the worst murderers and killers in the land.
Varathus!
For the greater good, I shall exterminate everything. I'm not really good if I mean, I'm not really sure if we are even working for greater good or anything.
Leave it to me!
All right then.
I'm starting to feel like I'm the bad guy in this story. Being just toyed by gods and whatnot. In the Dungeons 2, it was for the greater evil. That is true. Absolute evil. How's it going at that time? At least in that it was clear I was the evil guy.
So much for you. I'll see it done.
Hey, Sierra.
Where there's a pick, there's a way.
Look how your party, how he knows my parties. Yeah. Crazy Durans. Crazy Shapeshifter. Just crazy mage. Well, Eder is pretty fine, but yeah, I guess that should tell me something.
So much for you.
But in general, everything I do seems to really disrupt like the existing order of the world.
All right then.
We killed the Redrix Holt guy, the leader in there. What the hell is that? Why is it still? Why is it aggressive and empty? Like if you look at the map here. So here, this is the Gilded Vale area. We killed the Redrix Holt and we got someone else to rule in there. We pretty much ruined the whole Defiance Bay with the riots and killing the Duke and everything. In here... Oh, what do we here? We screwed up a noble, screwed up the Mafia family here, we screwed up crazy cultist people who were actually doing pretty much good in that area. Here we killed the dragons who were basically just hanging around and living fine in there. In here we have killed, so far, we killed the Tritos Stelgars, we killed these blood cultist guys. We're gonna kill the druids. And so on. So it's like we are doing shit everywhere. I'm just wrecking their existing order here.
Lavaru beyond seek.
Also, if you think of, it's not very much shade in the game yet, at least, but like the long-term consequences of these actions, like in this area, we get the Stelgars, we kill these guys, we are killing the druids, we are like killing all the military power these Clanfatans have. These guys are providing the blood thing and power to their armies. Stelgars wear their armies. We are gonna kill the Fangs as well, which are their other part of the army. And the druids are, well, druids. So we're killing the druids too. So there's like no one to defend the Clanfatan areas anymore once I'm done going through this place.
What is it?
Hey.
What is that amulet? Plus 10 will.
Oh, all right then.
It's good to be 90% through the game and figure out. Actually, I'm the bad guy in the game. Maybe there is no Teos. Maybe I am the Teos. Maybe Teos is doing good and I'm doing shit.
Hey.
Let's go kill the shopkeeper. Definitely go back to the earlier house and finish the job. I guess so. Oh, you're still selling stuff to me? I heard the screams of the others and smelled their blood in the air. A grim irony that the Ethignol should perish alongside the millennia of sacrifices you're doing. Come to finish an old blind woman too? Or have you other business? I like to see what you have for sale. Plot twist, all the good guys are evil and the evil guys are the good guys. I feel it's heading that way, Underclown. And I am the most evil guy in the world. There you go. Sold him her basically all the gear from the other guys in here. If you're the most evil, then you're the most good.
Varanthus! Varanthus! That's it!
At least we know that Durance is evil as shit. But that wasn't too difficult to figure out. I mean, Durance killed the god, then. So he's on a totally different league of badassery. I'm just starting out as a murderous bastard, killing people.
That's it!
At least I haven't killed a god yet, so I have one up on him. Clearly, I need to up my game. Yep, yep. Well, I'm working for 4 gods now. We'll see how that goes. Get your god slaughtered out. Yeah, I guess I have to do that. I wonder if there will ever be more reveals about what really actually happened to God. Is he actually dead? Did Durance actually blow him up? Let's go rest in here. Although we are soon going to the place where some of the war was happening, so maybe there are some reveals in there. I mean, Durance's questline is still not done either, so he has something to tell us. Not a big surprise that Durance's questline has been maybe the most interesting so far out of these guys. Eder was really boring. Eder was like super boring when I finished it. Aloth was also kind of disappointing. Sagani feels also very meh. Hiravius is pretty okay. His storyline is quite nice. And I've not done Kana or the Grieving Mother yet. At all, really. So I don't know. And Pallegino was boring.
How do you do?
As well. I guess I was expecting a bit more out of their quest lines. Like actually getting something out of them. Other than story. Like usually when you do, in most RPGs, when you have party members like that, and when you do a quest line for them, you get like new power for them or some gear just specifically made for them or something like that. And this game, so far, I have not gotten anything at all, which is kind of disappointing in my opinion. The druid should be here, the Golden Grow peoples, which we need to kill. I also feel most of the quest lines were kinda unnecessarily stretched. Like some of the areas you cannot get to until you are further into the game. And I think it would have been better if some of the quest lines were you were able to finish them earlier. Like Eder's quest line, you should have been able to finish in this area already, and then someone else's quest line here, and someone else's here and here, so you could have completed them one by one, and not all of them have to be stretched all the way to the end of the game when you actually get to the chapter 3 and all that. Because it makes the quest lines very fragmented. And you don't even remember like half of the stuff that happened earlier because it was like 20 hours ago in gameplay when you did that part of the quest line. I think it would have been better if they were more in a more concentrated packages. An elf stands on a dais in the middle of the clearing. The ground is blanketed with the leaves in various shades of russet and gold. Her eyes are closed and her arms are folded in front of her. A curtain of autumnal yellow hair hangs in front of her face. As you draw near, she lifts her chin and looks at you with shifting hazel
Greetings,
eyes.
Estramor. You are among the Ovates of the Golden Grove.
Sounds like the Steam Library Syndrome in game form. It kinda is the same thing. Like we were discussing yesterday, that if I don't finish the game now and I put it on a shelf and continue it later on, I will never finish the game. It kind of feels the same with these questlines as well. It's like, yeah, we'll get to them some point later, and it's like, yeah, no, you need to do them now. Berat has sent me to end your life. It has continued for too long.
What is a god that his voice should carry so far? And what are you that you should so eagerly obey? The gods only have dominion over what we seed. And you would cede matters of life and death to them.
Oh, right. I just remembered that both these elves, these hippie elves, and the blood dwarfs were against gods. They were trying to live their life and get power and stuff without the gods. And now a god sends me to kill both of them. So, these gods are not nice. Durans laughs thickly with derision. The gods set the rules and let us do as we will. But that is merely a test, and only a fool thinks he has been ceded anything. You do what your god wants, or you face the fire. This woman is about to become an example. I've made my decision. She shakes her head. It is a shame we could not come to an accord. Yeah, True Knight.
I'm ready.
I feel the same. Also, now that I think about the story a bit more as well, Theos, the evil mad guy who has lived multiple lifetimes, and I'm somehow entangled with him and been following him for most of the game. He was part of that god worshipping cult that was like a Spanish Inquisition more or less, and were killing off unbelievers and believers in the wrong gods. I feel I'm doing the exactly same again, actually. I'm killing unbelievers who are not believing in the gods and doing the gods' will. And just going crazy, Inquisition everywhere.
Varathus! That's it! Yeah!
Quarter stuff, fine glove, ring of protection, junk.
Of course.
So that's Berat's questline done. You didn't have the choice to just kill the gods? I think you need to do favor to one of the gods, not Basilisk. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Maybe we can go into the Burial Island in the last place without getting any favor. I was just told I need to get favor from them, but who knows if you can actually do it differently. I've been just doing what I'm being told to do. Maybe I should go against what I'm being told to do. Can't you just kill the guards? Well, we need to jump into some kind of pit of doom. It's basically like jumping into the underworld or something. And you need the protection of the gods so you don't actually die from the fall. Whoa. Just a vision there. Hey you. Actually, I received a vision from Hylia. She bid me speak with you about the menace that settles over her temple.
A vision from the goddess herself? What a rare and fortunate blessing.
Your vision did reveal that the menace is a dragon, yes? To be honest, I expected the Sky Mother would summon a flock of warriors to fight this monster. I fear so few will be like sparrows again attacking an eagle. But if Hylia has tasked you, then who are we to doubt? Onwen is right, however. You must prepare yourself for a powerful and crafty foe. The nest and the dragon are perched atop a mountain beyond the Northfield. He points northward along the path. Follow this trail into the wilderness and then look for another path carved into the cliffs. May the Sky Mother's blessing aid you. It would be actually interesting to do another playthrough. Yeah, this is the other dragon. It would be interesting to go and try to choose like all the other options and see how that affects the story. Cause I've been pretty much the yes man for everything, like, sure, I'll go kill everything, it's fine. But what if I said no for pretty much everything and went against them? I mean, the game has a lot of options already. Like I said, the start of the caravan when you kill everyone there.
Arensi has no right to defend that cowering cat in the back of the maw.
Down and tell her yourself.
So it would make sense that there is a option for other choices in there as well.
Tread carefully, Estramor.
You must be Bevel's new Estramor. Truth, when I heard she let another in, I almost went on a passage of 6 myself to share words. Yeah, exactly that. It's interesting. What do the other options do? If anything. What other foreigners come this way recently? Glumfellan, worshippers of Rimgard, they claimed. Simply looters and defilers by another name, that's the truth. They disappeared behind the doors of Noonfrost, and now our lake turns to ice, and the cold creeps ever closer. Yet Bevel is timid, and she has convinced the other Anamfatha that we must respect these Estramorn and their traditions, no matter what mischief guides their hand. I guess you didn't leave it at that? I sent my own sister, one of the finest scouts, to sniff out the Pale Elf's corruption. I was certain the Anamfatha could not ignore the defilement in Noonfrost once Alva's own eyes had seen it, but she still hasn't returned. Now I bear the responsibility for her fate, and I can't send the Fangs after her without openly defying the Anamfatha. I'll do it. I could go look for Alva. I don't dare to hope. Whatever catastrophe has befallen Noonfrost does not feel like the work of Kith, but nothing would bring me greater joy than seeing her again. I would take any assistance he can give. What are you doing here? My stock equip the brethren in the Fangs, and my hands train them to fight, hunt, and track with skill. Do you have any supplies for sale? Only the finest. Bleak Fang. Ooh, Touch of Rot, Spell Striking. That is a amazing dagger. Rending, has DR reduction, accuracy and damage, and a touch of Rot. Kit Slaying. Predatory. It's quite nice as well. Vitoki. Bonus crit damage. Crits inflict prone and exceptional. Also quite nice. Nothing I can actually use. Redfield. Grant's Harbinger. Foe AoE. Minus accuracy for... It's a passive minus accuracy for enemies. Ooh, we want that. Thank you. Let's buy one of those as well. I don't know if I have any of those left anymore. Let's buy all of them. Thank you. You have a new shield. She's a paladin already, so might as well get even more auras for her.
Tell me.
No, she's Harbinger as well. What is this door? Needs a proper key. Hey, Endel.
Come to see the great Oernos, Estremor? He's out for a hunt, but he'll be back. Unlike that lioness, he doesn't stay cooped up in here for long.
Oh, I need to kill these guys as well. I need to kill either the lioness or the bear. So Oernos is the bear and lioness is this other guy. Why can't Oernos go and fight the lioness?
Because she holes up at the back of the maw, surrounded by her pride and the natural hazards of this place. It's not the proper way to meet a challenger. She's got to come out and face Oernos to keep her claim. Anyway, her prime is past. Putting that old beast down would be a mercy at this point.
I could take care of Sul. I hate to spoil the tradition of big showdown, but if she retreats from her fight, then there is no point in waiting. Kill her, and there'll be proof enough that she's not a fit champion.
We wait for the big confrontation, but the wait grows exhausting. While Sul hides in the back of the maw, Oernos is denied his victory, and we're all denied the champion we deserve.
So this is the quest line, Old Queen and the New King. Where was the other guy? Antelope Companion. This guy.
Kareth, this is no place for sightseeing, even for you. The beasts of Galawain's Maw are dangerous, and now more than ever.
What's wrong with the beasts?
They won't fight.
I wouldn't say that's more dangerous. What's wrong with that?
It is not Galawain's way, and it is not the way of the Maw.
The Maw has always been home to one of great predators. Every so often, a challenger comes along, and two battle for territory, but Sul remains in her den, and Oernos can't confront her there. Now, two mighty predators and their kin hunt from the same stock. It's thinning the herds, and it's thinning patience around here too. And this waiting, it's not the deliberate, watchful waiting of a hunter lying in ambush. It's stagnation, tedium, hoping for something to happen. But I'm powerless to act. One half of the fangs will cry favoritism if I try to drag lioness out myself. I've received a vision from Galawain about these beasts. From the clever hound himself. If you truly have Galawain's blessing, I won't stand in your way, but I can believe he sees forceful champion in you. We don't normally permit outsiders to venture into the Maw, but you understand that you do so at your own risk, and Sul's lions are likely to attack intruders on sight. Still, perhaps you can coax her into fighting the bear. Do whatever you can to end this stalemate. Let's talk something else. Would you favor Sul or Oernos? I see both sides. Sul's cunning is outmatched, but Oernos is the mightier of the two. Both embody traits prized by Galawain. This is Galawain's Maw?
Yes, a den of beasts sacred to the Lord of the Hunt himself. Historically, the greatest predator of Air Glanfath has claimed the back of the Maw as its lair. Lately, however, there's been some dispute as to who should occupy that position. And it's leading to discord among our hunters.
Tell me about yourself. I am the leader of the Fangs. We are an order of hunters and warriors devoted to Galawain, and we see that the places of the builders remain pure. Not truly a tribe, but we do gather and argue like one. Our members come from all the tribes, but most of us were born three-tusked Stelgar, Fisher Crane, and Keepers of the Stone, naturally. Where could I find Sul? Straight at the back of the moor. He points down the halls on either side of him. You could get through either way, but mind where you step. The moor is a dangerous place, and Sul's pride and her advocates are on alert. Where is Oernos? Good question. Bear's out hunting right now, but he'll return soon. He's never gone for long. That voice from Sky.